All right, you guys. So I want to welcome you back to another episode of Ahsoka. This is episode 3, and the first 2 episodes, the first 2 premiere episodes, basically kind of reintroducing us to the characters for those of us who did watch Rebels and Clone Wars, and then for those of us who have not watched those shows and only stick to the main films, you kind of got a slight introduction to Ahsoka and Sabine, mostly for those 2 characters. We haven't run into Ezra, for the exception of a hologram. We also got to meet Hera as well. We did get a little bit of Hera. For me, a person who did watch Rebels, Hera's character just seemed off a little, just a tad bit. I wasn't getting that motherly role that she took on as the captain of the Ghosts and the basically in charge of Ezra, Sabine, and also with Kanan Jarrus leading the way. And I'm not too surprised we didn't get any mention of Kanan Jarrus, but we also haven't seen his son, who we know from the ending of the Rebels series, Jason Syndulla, was born shortly after the death of Kanan Jarrus. So just a couple of things, thoughts crossing my mind with the first 2 episodes, but I really did enjoy the first 2 episodes. I did enjoy the saber battles. I am enjoying the story so far, the intrigue, the mysticism with the Night Sisters, and Morgan Ellsworth. Her character is just absolutely awesome, and I am enjoying everything that we're getting so far, and the mysterious ancient beings that built the ruins that we saw where the map was initiated by Morgan Ellsworth. So some really, really cool stuff. Very nice information that we got in the first 2 episodes. So I don't want to waste any more time, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this 3rd episode of the Ahsoka series. Uh-oh. She's training. Hu Yang is training her. Nice. Yoki. Nate.
Well?
Not bad, but not good.
It's been a while.
Obviously.
So, one thing I want to bring up about Sabine's Force ability.
Well, I discovered that
one thing we heard in Rebels,
and
for those of us who have not seen
every Jedi he's ever
Rebels,
known.
You told her that?
Kanan Jarrus mentions that the Force is actually in everyone,
It doesn't matter.
but you have to be open to it. You have to open your mind to it. And I think what we're getting here with Sabine is that, there are a lot of people are a little upset that she's Force sensitive because they feel it's basically unnecessary. Because she's a skilled warrior already. She's a Mandalorian. She can handle herself on her own.
How am I supposed to fight?
However, I think what we're learning here is that, as Ahsoka just said, you need more than your Mandalorian skills to defeat a Jedi or a Sith, for that matter. So I think what we're getting here with Sabine is showing how an individual can learn to open themselves up to the Force and be able to use Force ability. We're also going to see that she's not only, once she is able to open herself up to the Force and use the Force, that she's also going to be able to combine that with her Mandalorian skill, which is going to make her an absolutely awesome warrior. So I am all in for this. I know a lot of people are a little upset that she is Force sensitive, but this is absolutely cool that we're getting this training montage. Same type of training that Luke got with the blaster shield. She's just lashing out.
Anger and frustration are quick to give power. But they also unbalance you.
Ahsoka! Oh, nice. Look at that. Mon Mothma.
Chancellor. In fact,
Now,
he's on
also,
board.
for those people who
Somewhere.
don't watch the animated series,
Causing trouble with
this
Chopper, no
gentleman
doubt.
right
Most
next to Mon
Forgive me,
Mothma
Madam Chancellor.
is the father of, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the character's name, but he's the main character in Star Wars Resistance, which is a
investigation into the attack on
animated
the
series
Vessel led me
that
to the
I think it
South
was
Bay
on
shipyards
Disney
on
XD,
Corellia,
if I'm not mistaken,
where I was-
series that took place in the sequel trilogy era, right around the time when Hosnian Prime was taken out. We actually even get to see that transpire from the point of view of the characters in the series. So really cool. So again, this gentleman would be the father
Yes,
of the
but I
main
believe
character,
their
who
activity
for some
speaks to a
reason I'm
larger
forgetting
operation.
his name.
It always does.
Involving Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn. But how is that possible? He disappeared years ago.
Hey, Mom!
Oh,
Sure,
Jason
it's
Segula!
Where did you hear that?
And he's got green
Something
hair.
told me.
Everybody, stop. He's got green hair. Everyone was upset
wanna
because
be
he didn't
Jedi.
have green hair, but he does have green hair.
Yeah, I know you did.
He said he wants to be a Jedi. Jason Syndulla, for those who don't know, is the son of Kanan Jarrus, who was the Jedi who was a part of the Ghost Crew. Him and Harrison Syndulla were romantically involved.
I can handle
And like as I mentioned earlier,
rest
Jason
of it, that's
Syndulla
a
was
struggle.
born shortly after
Always
the
has
death
been.
of Kanan Jarrus. If you have not watched Star Wars Rebels, I'm telling you, you're missing some really, really good stuff. And I apologize for anyone that I may have spoiled on some of this
hoping
stuff,
that the
but
urgency of our
you really should
situation
have
could
watched that series prior to
Expedite
watching
my
this
training
series.
a bit. Not everyone can handle the type of discipline it takes to master the ways of the Force. Start small.
Not gonna be able to pull that cup. You need to start with like a pebble. How many times have it, as a Star Wars fan, you've done that to try to pull something just to see? I think we've all at least tried it. This is kind of cool. It's like one of us trying to use the Force.
My last scan indicates the transport was in orbit on the far side of the planet. However, there also seems to be a second object, something much
Oh
larger.
wow! What?
Star Destroyer.
Negative. Whatever it is has a signature which is unknown to me.
Damn it! I can't start Killer Base. Uh oh! Shimmy. Morak. They're on him. Damn it!
I am tracking two.
Come on, Sabine. You gotta take some of the dudes out.
Sabine.
Maybe you ain't doing no better. Sabine, babe, what are you doing?
Missed. I had them, but missed.
You're a Mandalorian, baby. Come on.
Two more incoming. Dead ahead.
She is rusty as hell. Who'd she get? I don't think she got Morak. Damn.
Two more down.
She took two out.
We should be
What are we looking at? What are we looking at? Ah! Star Killer.
If I had to guess, I would say it is some sort of hyperspace ring.
Let's
Oh, is it?
confirm
Oh.
that.
Is it a hyper? Okay, they're seeing a hyperspace ring. Okay, I thought it was. I saw the round shape and thought it was a.
Morgan. They're entering the
planet.
sector.
Is this a trap?
I'm surprised you let them get this far. Stay clear. I shall deal with them.
Come on, man.
I am starting
Ahsoka's flying that damn thing.
to scan complete.
Damn. Damn. definitely are out of commission. Look, I love the suit. I love the suit. I love the suit. Oh my God. That is so Clone Wars. Ahsoka. Whoa. Got him.
Ahsoka,
Come on, get to work.
did you fix the ship yet?
Go.
I got it! I got it!
What? Oh, Virgo. Virgo. Damn. Wow, wow.
The good news is the enemy vessel is still under construction and not yet complete. There are 6 hyperdrive engines in place, with the final one being set into position.
So it is a hyperspace ray.
Yes, but I have never seen one built on this scale before. A craft with these power levels and configuration would be capable of a hyperspace jump of astonishing speed and distance.
Yeah, and could a ring like that make a jump to a neighboring galaxy?
Theoretically, if one knew the coordinates and navigation, yes, I believe it could. The Jedi archives speak of intergalactic hyperspace lanes between galaxies, which used to follow the migration paths of star whales named Purgle.
Balin.
The Jedi have taken refuge in the forest. Hunt them down.
Feast up.
I think this is the end of the episode. So we know what we're gonna get in episode 4. It's gonna be mostly a ground battle. Okay. Seth Green directed this one. Interesting. All right, you guys. So I really enjoyed that episode, actually. I thought it was a really good 30 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what some of the fans think. For those who are not used to Filoni style episode, or if you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, or even some of the episodes of Clone Wars, even though I think some of the Clone Wars episodes were a little bit longer than 30 minutes. As I had mentioned, Dave Filoni is really good at compacting a lot of information within the 30-minute time frame, and I think he's done that here from a writing aspect. So obviously in this episode, we start off with the training of Sabine, and we also get a little bit of information on how the Force works, how the Force is in all living beings. It's just a matter of opening yourself up to it. And this is the message that Ahsoka is trying to get across to Sabine. And we see Sabine obviously struggling with the Force. In this episode, Sabine uses the face mask so she can't see, and she is tasked with trying to locate Ahsoka without using her vision, basically kind of reaching out with the Force and being able to feel with the Force to see where her opponent is. Of course, she struggles in doing this, where Luke Skywalker had a similar training. His initial training started with the helmet and the blast shield being down, and him going against the training spear. And initially he gets shot by some of the lasers because he's not properly using the Force. But because he is so attuned and has a lot of talent with the Force and has a lot of natural ability with the Force, where Sabine does not, he is able to, in his first lesson, fend off a couple of shots from the training spear, where Sabine was not able to catch up to Ahsoka, not even slightly. And at certain points, Ahsoka was using one hand just to fend her off. I really enjoyed that training montage, and I really enjoyed the reintroduction on how the Force works. For those of us who've heard Kanan Jarrus mention the same thing to Sabine in a episode of Rebels, now for those fans who were able to see that episode, you kind of get that understanding here in this episode. So this episode, while I thought it was great, and I thought there was a lot of action, but again, this episode is another building block of information for those fans who are still trying to catch up to where the fans who already know Rebels are already at, while still giving us a good portion of the main plot that is going on, which is basically trying to get to Thrawn, and now Sabine and Ahsoka have discovered this huge hyperspace ring that Morgan Elsbeth has out in the middle of nowhere. We also got to see obviously Mon Mothma, and as I had mentioned in my reaction, the gentleman who is standing next to Mon Mothma is a prominent senator that is an Easter egg to the Star Wars Resistance animated series that took place again, I believe, on Disney XD a few years back. I believe it only ran for about 2 seasons, but it was a fairly decent series for children. It does take place in the sequel trilogy. Really a very nice Easter egg, and it was very nice to see Mon Mothma as well. New Republic is closed-minded in regards to the Empire and the impact that they'll have as the New Order when they come back and basically destroy Haslam Prime, as we know from the sequel trilogy. So we can kind of see why the New Republic failed and wasn't able to stop First Order, because they were totally oblivious to stopping them. Now, obviously, Thrawn was not a part of the sequel trilogy, so we'll have to see where he fits in regards to that and the fall of the New Republic. However, my thought is that whatever fight that's going to take place with Thrawn is going to take place in this other galaxy. So we'll see if that is something that comes to fruition. Obviously, I don't believe that Thrawn is going to be a part of the First Order or have anything to do with the destruction of Haslam Prime, obviously, because he was not there for those events, as far as we know. And then shortly after that, we get to see Jacen Syndulla. And for those fans who are fans of Rebels, this is a character that we saw in the finale of Rebels. And again, this was revealed to be Kanan Jarrus's son, birthed by Hera Syndulla, obviously, because he calls her mother. And there was a little bit of controversy because the Lego Toys had previously released images of the Ghost, their version of the Ghost, which has Jacen Syndulla as a part of the figures that come with that particular set, and that particular figure had brown hair, and again, that kind of stirred a little bit of controversy. People were, he had green hair in the Star Wars Rebels finale. Well, we saw here he has green hair, so controversy over. But really cool to see Jacen Syndulla in live action, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here, because obviously I'm assuming he has some Force ability. I don't know if Hera has allowed him to do any training thus far. And then, of course, we did hear Jacen Syndulla say that he would like to become a Jedi. So really, really cool Easter egg, and very fun little bit right there for us Rebels fans to see Jacen Syndulla in live action. So going on with the story, we have Ahsoka and Sabine being informed by Hera Syndulla that she will not be joining them, and she will not be bringing any of the fleet along with her, because obviously the New Republic has denied her request. But her transmission is jammed. Ahsoka has the ship pulled out of hyperspace so they can kind of see what's going on. They come across Shin and a squadron of fighters that she's leading. And then, as we saw, a battle ensues. A very decent space battle. I don't know if it's the best space battle that I've ever seen. It was a little bit slow and methodic, I thought, initially, but then it kind of picked up as the Ahsoka ship took on damage, and they had to kind of improvise. And then, of course, it was really cool to see Ahsoka in the spacesuit. I don't even know what episode where she appears in a spacesuit, but I remember seeing her in a spacesuit, and I'm thinking it was in Clone Wars. So it was really cool to see her in that spacesuit, and obviously she's fending off the fighters as best she could while Sabine is working on the ship. Sabine gets the ship running. They're able to take off and go down towards the planet below, and I forget the name of the planet that they're on, but it's obviously the same planet where the ruins are, where the star map was initiated by Morgan Ellsworth. They go down to the planet and they come across Purrgil, which is very cool to see the Purrgil in live action, because again, in the finale of Rebels, we saw these same creatures, and they also were introduced in another episode previous to that in Rebels. But it was really cool to see those creatures here in live action, and of course we see the fight, and the battle continues in between the whales, going through the whales and whatnot, where Ahsoka and Sabine are able to lose Shin and the squadron, but not before they've taken out a couple of their fighters in that squadron, which was really, really cool to see. Once they are able to find a hiding place, we get a little bit of information on this hyperspace ring and some of its capabilities from Hu Yang, who again is brought back or powers back up shortly after they land. So obviously this hyperspace ring is able to not only jump through hyperspace, but they're able to jump through hyperspace through certain hyperspace lanes that can get them to a whole nother galaxy, which is obviously Morgan Ellsworth's plan to meet up with Thrawn. At least that's what we're led to believe at this particular point. And now Ahsoka and Sabine have figured out the secret, but they don't have the backup to fend them off at this particular point. And then, of course, we see Baylan send these soldiers out in the forest to find Ahsoka and Sabine. Again, I really did enjoy this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. It really reminded me of a 30-minute episode of Rebels, where Dave Filoni is able to pack in a lot of information in a short period of time, and then also add in a little action as well. So I really did enjoy this episode. I thought it was good. It'll be interesting to see what others think of this particular episode. I'm sure people will be upset about the short runtime. I'm not as upset about the short runtime because it's something that I expect from Dave Filoni, because I watched the majority of his animated series. So this really took me back to watching those particular series, and I thought it was a lot of fun for our third episode, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and score this episode, guys, and I'm going to give this episode a 8.5 out of 10. I really did, again, enjoy this episode. I thought there was a lot of information given in this particular episode, along with a lot of really good action. We got some nice cameos with Jason Sandula, and some nice Easter eggs as well, with the mask and the training of Sabine, paralleled with what we saw with Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. So there was some really cool Easter eggs, and I really thought this episode was a lot of fun, and that's why I scored it an 8.5 out of 10, guys. But please do let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this episode. Did you enjoy this episode? Are you bothered by the short runtime of about 30 minutes? Again, it didn't bother me as much because I'm used to it, being a fan of Star Wars Rebels. If you have not watched Star Wars Rebels and you prefer the longer episodes, let me know how you felt about this particular episode. Did you feel like it was too jam-packed? Did it throw too much information at you at one time, with the training montage and then the battle? And then, of course, you have all of the information in regards to the space ring that they threw in there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please do put those comments down below. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost. May the Force be with you.